The Canadian government is rehiring a special advisor to Venezuela. Want to apply? Well, you better love Cuba if you do. The Canadian government is hiring a special advisor to Venezuela. Here's the tender on the Government of Canada Procurement's website. It reads, the Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development has a requirement for a one-person special advisor on Venezuela. The political, social, and economic situation in Venezuela is complex and continues to deteriorate. Canada is playing a critical role regionally and globally in efforts to support the interim government and increase pressure on the illegitimate government that continues to perpetuate violence, unrest, and deprivation and refuses to return the country to constitutional order. The Americas branch of Global Affairs Canada is responsible for coordinating Canada's response to the crisis, including by supporting ministerial level, bilateral, regional, and multilateral engagement. This really is, though, just a reappointment of a position the Government of Canada first contracted for in April of 2018. The remuneration is $200,000 for just 240 days of work. Nice work if you can get it. The only hitch is that you must think that somehow the communist dictatorship of Cuba is essential to democracy in Venezuela, which is a sentence even crazier when said out loud than when I first typed it into my computer. But it was also even crazier when Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister, Chrystia Freeland, said it with a straight face in a press conference. Just watch.
I believe we are seeing an international convergence around the need for a peaceful transition in Venezuela, resulting in free and fair elections and a return to democracy. Cuba will have a role to play in this, and that is something I discussed at length with Minister Rodriguez today. It was a productive conversation, and both of us have committed to keeping this dialogue open. It follows, of course, an important phone call that the Prime Minister made to his counterpart in Cuba.
People float away across shark-filled waters on rafts made of garbage, scavenged up to escape the communist tyranny in Cuba. Imagine thinking Cuba had some lessons to teach the broader Americas about democracy. You know, this only speaks to the liberals' not-so-closeted anti-Americanism, which makes this whole affair just perfectly peak Chrystia Freeland. When Freeland and Trudeau were speaking with their Cuban counterparts, do you think either one of them raised the specter that, according to American estimates, some 20,000 Cuban troops are in Venezuela right now to prop up the authoritarian Maduro government against the people demonstrating for democracy? These are Cuban communist mercenaries who wouldn't think twice about opening fire on Venezuelan citizens in the same manner that they routinely disappear Cuban dissidents back home. Freeland has never called the communist dictator of Cuba, Raul Castro, a tyrant or authoritarian, but she has appeared on a panel discussion where Donald Trump was insinuated to be those things at a women's conference in Toronto in the middle of the NAFTA renegotiations. The discussion was called Taking on the Tyrant, and Freeland sat there smiling and nodding as her fellow panelists bashed the American president. You see, to Freeland, Trump is a tyrant, but the Castro goons are the linchpin for Venezuelan stability and democracy going forward. Freeland's tight dresses and her weird sitting postures just might be cutting off the blood to her brain. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. We hold Justin Trudeau to account in a way that you won't see done in the mainstream media because we are looking for the other side of the story and they're looking for a handout. Now, one of the best ways to help us out here at The Rebel is to like, share, and subscribe to our content.